Where do we rate WandaVision on our top series list? What is next for the MCU? And what happens when we have nothing planned to talk about? Well, we talk about all that and hopefully more on this episode of the Toddcast. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Toddcast. As always, I'm your host, Todd McManus, and today is a very special episode for many reasons. But first off, let me introduce you to my guest. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Toddcast Production is proudly present to you its 7-time most appearances on the Toddcast champion of the world, Jared Parks.
Yeah!
Jared, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
So, with all that being said, welcome back, Jared.
Good to be back.
Like I said, it is your 7th time.
Yeah.
Just ranking it in, ranking in the numbers.
That's right.
Adding
another one to my chalkboard.
just one more on the board.
That's it.
And that was it. That's all. This is the end of this episode. Thank you for watching. No. I said that wrong. It's listening anyway. You can't see nothing unless you're watching the logo anyway. So, as I said, very special for many reasons. First off, I would like to say I got the COVID vaccine today.
Uh-oh.
The first dose. I was able to get it today, of course. Me, my sister, and my dad. Everybody in my immediate family except my mom. Get the second dose on April the 8th, because this day is Thursday that this is. I got it over at a pharmacy. To be honest with you, with like the experience of it, it felt nothing, just like another shot that you would get. I did get the soreness kicked in like 30 to 40 minutes afterwards, but it was like, you know, the kind of soreness you get when you get a flu shot?
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as that.
Okay.
And like, it's still like very light soreness right now, but it's starting to wear off.
It's no Rocephin shot.
Oh God, no. Like that. Good Lord, like that's a S level tier shot. Like, so, but I'm getting my second one in about 4 weeks. Like I said, 4 or 5 weeks around there on April the 8th. I don't know how many weeks that is from today, but I'm glad I'm getting it. I urge people to get it. You know, I was saying, you know, like it was available to me, and I was like, you know what, I'll just go ahead and get it. You know, that way it's like, just go ahead and get it over with, you know, like, I'm like everybody here listening, and you probably yourself as well. It's like COVID, you know, it's been around. The lockdowns have happened for about a year now. Yeah. I can remember a year ago was episode 12 that you were on when we recorded it a week early because we were going to go skiing the next week.
No, don't remind me. It's so sad.
And that was a year ago. I can't believe that was a year ago for one thing, because it doesn't feel like that long ago that we were planning that trip out, you know.
Yeah.
And now here we are a whole year later on episode 62 talking about getting a shot or a vaccine for a disease that we didn't even know was going to be that big at the time, you know. But now here we are raking in stimulus checks. So so with that out of the way, on to much bigger news. Bigger than COVID. Okay? As of today, and I have not told you this yet, as of today, I am now going to be a proud owner of a PlayStation 5.
Wow. I'm so proud. I might cry. It's beautiful.
I already am. So, yeah, I was able to buy it. Of course, not through Best Buy. If you listened last week, you heard my true feelings about Best Buy. Which you probably heard a lot more than just about Best Buy last week. But anyway, that was last week. What happened last week will stay with last week.
That's right.
And so, I bought it through PlayStation Direct, which is Sony's own PlayStation store online. I was able to buy it through them. I was in a waiting room for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
I had my phone on it and my computer on it, but the phone one was in line further.
Okay.
And I got the disc normal PlayStation 5. I did not get the digital one because the digital one was out of stock. So I was able to get the disc one, and I bought an extra controller with it. And now And if you're a PlayStation Plus member, which is what you have to have for those of you who don't know, that's what you have to play online with other people,
Yeah.
You are able to get express shipping through them, which is 1 to 2 day shipping for free.
Do you have Plus?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I was able, which they have standard shipping, which you can get 3 plus days for free, or 1 to 2 days for free, which is express. Well, I was like, well, I'm getting both of these for free. I should do like the soonest,
Yeah, for sure.
It hasn't shipped yet. Hopefully in the next week or two, which I imagine it will. Even though it's 1 to 2 day shipping, I imagine it's going to take a while because, I mean, it's the PS5.
Yeah.
And as of tomorrow, but for y'all listening on the 12th, yesterday on Friday, the PS5 will be out for 4 months. It's been 4 months since it's come out because it came out in November.
All right, Todd, will you get it? I don't even want to play it. I just want to touch it. Can I just touch it?
Sure.
I'm kidding. I want to play it too.
Who knows? I may want to keep it and be like, I'm just going to keep it in the box.
Oh my goodness. We would be in a fight.
But yeah, I'm going to finally get it.
Todd, if that's the case, this is my last Toddcast. Okay?
Well, it was nice knowing you, Jaron. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be playing it. I haven't even held the controller, of course, because I wasn't going to buy, because I really thought about that. I really considered it like, I just want to buy the controller, but I'm not going to have the PlayStation 5. And the controller doesn't even come with a cord. It's just a controller,
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm just going to hold a PlayStation 5 controller and dream, So
how it feels to play the PlayStation 5. Stimulate your senses.
So, yes. So, I'm now going to be a proud owner of the PS5. I was so happy. And then I got my COVID shot after that. So, a lot has happened today for me. It was like, a lot of stuff good has happened.
Well, let me tell you what's been going on in my life.
So, yeah.
I've been working on an impression of mine.
Oh.
Yes, I have.
Interesting.
It is a very, sophisticated person that I'm impersonating here.
Very well known.
Yeah. Mr. Carl Weezer from Jimmy Neutron.
Yes.
Give me something to say here, Todd. Let's see.
I mean, I can ask you a question.
Okay, go for it. What you got?
Well, how was your day today?
I had a good day today. Me and Jimmy's mom ran into each other in the hallway. It was amazing.
It's so funny because of how accurate it is. That's pretty good. Like, I couldn't do that.
I really honed in my craft here.
Like, how much research of watching Jimmy Neutron episodes?
Todd, that is private information.
Well, okay then, Carl Weezer. Hopefully he might have to be a guest on at some point on the Toddcast, who knows.
Maybe we'll see.
So,
my scapula.
so Carl, anyway, that's pretty good. I gotta give it to you.
Thank you.
So, yeah, Mr. Carl Weezer, everybody. So, you've been working on your Carl Weezer impersonation, and I've been getting COVID shot and buying a PS5. So,
not to compare here, but I think mine's a little bit more important. No.
Honestly, yes. I agree. So, what else has been happening? Nothing much, actually, to be honest with you, in my life. But anyway, the reason this episode is actually special with everyone here, to let you know, is because this episode is the first official, as we are calling it now, no notes episode. What this means is that I have nothing written down, and everything that you will hear on this episode is completely improv and just coming to mind stuff. Normally, it's like headline type stuff,
Yeah.
Where it's like, I have Snyder Cut coming out next Thursday on HBO Max. But I don't have that written down. It literally in my notes says, introduce Jaron, no notes episode, and then as always, please rate and subscribe. And that's all it says. And so everything that you hear is completely improvised and right out of our minds.
Right out of the old noggin.
Yes. So that means we also have to remember stuff that has happened and talk about it as well.
Yes.
Which is the harder part.
If we ever get too quiet, I might just bring Carl Weezer back out.
Yeah, you never know. Carl Weezer might make a surprise appearance here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Who knows?
We'll see how the night goes.
Yeah. Yeah. For all of us and Carl including. So, as I said, just go ahead and start it off then. The Snyder Cut of the Justice League is coming out next Thursday on March, whatever day it is, 18th on HBO Max. It is a 4-hour-long movie cut into 6 chapters, but it's all still one movie. As in, what I relate it with the chapters is that it reminds me of how the Hateful Eight was.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of like a book, but it was a movie. Mm-hmm. Because it was like chapter 1, chapter 2, and all that. That's the way the Snyder Cut of the Justice League is, but it's a 4-hour-long movie. And what I saw about Zack Snyder, the director, of course, he did not get paid any to redo the movie his own version. He got 100% creative control, though, without being paid any money, even though it cost an additional $20 million to redo it.
Yeah. After
Joss Whedon ruined it in 2017, which was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on the Snyder Cut?
Well, Todd, don't be upset. Don't be mad at me.
Okay.
I still haven't watched the original Justice League movie.
Well, I'm not mad. I'm very happy because it is very good that you did not watch that movie.
Is it? I've heard bad things and I just didn't feel like subjecting my eyes to something.
What you should do, honestly, and for all the people out there that haven't seen that 2017 version of the Justice League, you should watch the Snyder Cut first. Yeah. And then you can watch the original version.
Okay.
Because you can have something to compare it to. I watched the original Justice League in 2017 when it came out in theaters. I watched it in theaters. I was disappointed in theaters.
Yeah.
I then watched it at home, and the more and more I watched it, the more and more I got disappointed with the movie. Because of the potential. Like, we have the Avengers. We saw the potential in it, and it delivered. The entire MCU of the past over 10 years has delivered.
Might I say over-delivered?
Yes. It's like there was never a dull moment other than Thor the Dark World.
Yeah, Thor.
Thor.
We don't talk about Thor.
But he remade it with Ragnarok.
Yes, and Ragnarok is, in my opinion, at least one of the top 5 MCU movies.
Yes. So. And like you saw potential from the comic books, and now it has, like you said, over-delivered very well with the Marvel universe and everything.
And I just don't see why DC just can't get it together like Marvel can.
I don't know, because honestly, I think, like, I don't want to give them too much credit, but I feel like Disney knows what they're doing.
That's true.
Like, it's Disney. If Disney bought DC would be rivaling Marvel. Like, DC tries to rival Marvel, and don't get me wrong, today's DC comics are way better than Marvel comics, in my opinion. Like, Marvel comics has got some good stuff from back in the day, from years ago, and DC, of course, has many different things. I don't know which one was first, whichever DC or Marvel, I don't know which brand was the first ones to go dive into, like, different realities, and the multiverse is what Marvel calls it. And then DC has different worlds, like World 1, World 2, or Earth 1, Earth 2, and all that kind of stuff.
And let's not forget all of the animated TV shows. DC is really on top of their game on that.
Oh, yeah. They've made like 100 different Justice League shows, and I will say every one of them, no matter which one, is better than a Marvel show. Like, Marvel didn't get good with their shows until Disney bought them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, Marvel, you did good, but like with the movies as well, there wasn't really any movie. Like, is there a Marvel, well, other than the Spider-Man Sony movies and X-Men, is there anything else other than that that was a Marvel movie of a Marvel character, other than, like, there was an old Avengers movie in like the 90s or the 80s with the original Hulk from the Hulk TV show way back then.
Yeah, that was just the painted green guy.
That was just because he was ripped and he was painted green to look like the Hulk, you know. But, and that doesn't really count, you know. Like, other than Spider-Man and the X-Men, there wasn't really anything there. But that was Sony's doing, you know.
Yeah.
So, but then when Disney got it, it made it a lot better. But DC, the movies are just, and even the video games too. DC's got that got them beat, you know. DC has all the Batman game, like Marvel's got the Spider-Man game, which
Spider-Man's
is like
a really good
one of
game.
the greatest games made, you know.
Yeah.
It was nominated for Game of the Year. Like, that's how good it was, you
Yeah.
know. And I did not play the second one, the Miles Morales one.
I haven't either.
I have not played it. I was going to play it whenever I got the PS5, but everything happened about the PS5.
And let's not forget the biggest thing DC has done right. The Lego Batman movie.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Don't ever forget the Lego Batman movie.
Definitely. I did watch that a while back, too.
It's so good.
Yeah.
The Lego movies are top notch, all of them.
Which the Lego games are amazing, too, whenever you think about it.
Yeah, they really are.
Like, the Lego Star Wars games.
Oh, that's legendary.
One of my favorite Lego games, if we're going to get into the Lego real quick, is Lego Star Wars The Clone Wars.
I mean, we don't have any notes. We can talk about whatever we want to.
I mean, you're right, but...
Lego, what'd you say? Lego Star Wars Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of my favorites, too.
I love that one.
Yes.
Like, back in the day, like, whenever I was a kid, of course, playing, like, PlayStation 2,
Oh, yeah.
I played the original Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which was about episodes 4, 5, and 6. I played that, and I'm pretty sure I played, like, WWE SmackDown versus Raw. Was, like, my top games, you know?
Yeah.
Because I was into wrestling, and I liked Star Wars, and then that was it. And then I had, like, a Sega to play Sonic the Hedgehog was the other thing that I played, you know.
Throwing it back.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like, that was all I had back then, you know.
Yeah.
And then whenever, like, PS3 and all that's come out, and then all the Lego franchise started with, they had Lego Star Wars, the original trilogy. And then they had, the Clone Wars came a little while, because it happened after the Clone Wars, the show, which was amazing, too.
Still working on that, too.
Yeah. And... You're still watching it?
I'm still watching it. I've
Okay.
been plowing through it. It's getting better and better.
Oh, it does. Season 1, you got to be honest, like...
It's really kiddie.
It's good, but you can tell
it's for kids.
there's no continuity.
Yeah.
It's like every show is just a different battle.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, and it's like, oh, there's Obi-Wan. Okay, whatever, you know? And like the movie that came out before, you know, the Clone Wars movie that they call it, you know, where Ahsoka was introduced, you know, when they were in those, like, twin tower type things on that planet, you know.
Personally, I like that movie.
Yeah, I liked it, too. I think it was really good to introduce the Clone Wars, in my opinion, because it introduced Ahsoka, of course.
Yeah.
And then everything that really... And in my opinion, like, Anakin, he's very good in the show. Obi-Wan is, like, my favorite character in that show.
Yes.
But I feel like with everything that happens, and even towards the last season, I think this show is just really all about Ahsoka. You know, it's her journey from being a Padawan to where she ended up. So,
all right. So I wanted to mention real quick. Everybody was a little upset about how Ahsoka looked in the Mandalorian season 2. Mm-hmm. How she, like, the thing about her hair not being the right length.
Rosario Dawson.
Yeah. Keep in mind, in the Clone Wars, Count Dooku's head was like 3 times bigger
He had a
than
very,
the live action.
I would
Count
love,
Dooku.
I would love to have Dooku's chin.
For real.
His jawline was amazing.
Yes.
Like, oh my gosh. Like, if you've never seen it, Google Count Dooku Clone Wars.
There's Chiseled, and then there's Dooku.
That's a commercial, like, for plastic surgeons or something.
Yes.
That's amazing. God, I would love that. Like, and, I mean, I never thought he looked weird. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it fit.
Yeah, I never looked at him as like, ha, idiot. And I was like, you know, because I was like, look at your face. I didn't think of that, you know. But he had the same, it wasn't the same voice actor or the same person playing the voice of him as the movie.
Yeah.
But it was close.
I don't think they used any of the same actors.
No.
Except for the clones.
Yeah. But the guy who played the voice of Obi-Wan was, like, spot on.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
he did really good.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is, like, one of my favorite Star Wars characters ever.
Me too.
And, of course, we're patiently waiting for the Kenobi series.
Oh, I forgot about the Kenobi series.
On Disney Plus.
Oh, I'm excited about that. Disney Plus just raking in the money.
What were we talking about originally? Oh, DC, yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is what happens when you have no notes, ladies and gentlemen. So, to wrap up, basically, I'm ready for the Snyder Cut of the Justice League. I think you should watch it. I mean, it's free to you if you have HBO Max, of course.
I'll watch it.
It's 4 hours long, like I said. The reason Zack Snyder said it's 4 hours, it's like 4 hours and 2 minutes is how long it is. And I think there is a post-credit scene.
I can't watch that extra 2 minutes. I'll watch the 4 hours.
Well, the 2 minutes is probably all the credits. So,
yeah.
The reason he said it was 4 hours is because he said, Batman vs. Superman movie.
Yeah.
The director's cut of it was 3.5 hours long. The director's cut. He said that was just about 2 characters. He said, this is my version of Justice League. How can we put it down into and Warner Brothers originally wanted a 2.5 hour movie. He said, how can we add 4 more characters and cut it down an hour less than what my original movie of Batman vs. Superman was? Yeah. He's like, so it has to be 4 hours to add in all the members of the Justice League, how they come together. Spoiler alert, Superman died in Batman vs. Superman. And that's what...
What?
And that's what they're... And that was like in 2015 or whatever. That was like 6 years ago. So they're following that up, is what this follows.
Yeah.
And Batman has to make a new league and to replace Superman, basically.
Yeah.
And so they form the Justice League. Darkseid is the villain, which is DC's version of Thanos, but he shoots laser beams, but his are called Omega beams because he can shoot, like Superman shoots straight where he's looking, Darkseid shoot, and he can make them curve in midair and go wherever he wants to.
Oh, so it's like, what's his name? Mary Poppins. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. What's his name?
Yondu. Yeah. It's like him, but there's lasers, and they stay connected everywhere until they stop, and then they'll finish off, like Superman's lasers.
I actually remember. I did watch part of the Justice League. I was on a plane. I don't even remember where I was going, and I watched up until they said something about we need to retrieve these 3 pyramid.
The mother box.
Things. The boxes, yeah.
Yeah, the mother boxes.
And I think I fell asleep.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't fall asleep when it said, now playing the Justice League. Because you should have fell asleep if you saw the first part with, Superman's weird lip. That was at the first part of it when they were like, those kids were like, hey, Superman! And he was like, yeah, because he had the mustache for that Mission Impossible movie. Yeah. Is what it was. For Mission Impossible Fallout when he was the bad guy. Spoiler alert, because he wasn't the bad guy at the beginning of the movie. But that movie's also like 3 years old. So, which that movie was way better than the original Justice League movie. But this movie's going to be good. Superman's going to be in a black suit. And probably have long hair and a beard or whatever, because that was from... This is basically adapted from from one comic that I don't know the name of, but I watched all the DCEU, which is all the animated movies on HBO Max, which are all connected. And God, they're animated DC movies, but most of them are rated R. Not because of any language, it's because of the violence. Because it's like Superman was killing some people up in there, like not normal people, but like all the aliens. He was cutting them in half with his lasers. He was throwing them all the way like miles away.
Some Rick and Morty type stuff.
Oh yeah, it's like imagine Rick and Morty if like the Justice League was there, and like they're wearing them out. A lot of them died. Like Darkseid, and the last one, Darkseid was killing a lot of them. But anyway, so.
Superman, starring Rick Sanchez.
So off of DC with that, and then of course there's other stuff like the Suicide Squad movie that's coming out this year. John Cena is in it.
Yes.
They're also making his own show called Peacemaker, which is premiering January 2022, directed by James Gunn.
Is that the character he's playing in the movie?
Okay. He said it's James Gunn compared it to Captain America. He said, what if Captain America killed people and had guns? Is what Peacemaker is. But he's played by John Cena. Cool. So yeah, John Cena finally trying to follow in The Rock's footsteps of being a Hollywood actor, a good Hollywood actor.
Yeah, because he's dabbled a little bit.
He's done The Marine.
Yeah.
No.
And then he did the what was it, Blockers?
Yeah, I didn't watch that movie.
I probably shouldn't have watched that movie.
But I watched it. Well, I didn't watch it, but I heard it was different. It was different.
It was a little raunchy.
So, I heard that too. So yeah, I didn't watch that movie, but yeah, John Cena, he'll be good in it. The Suicide Squad, definitely good, because they said Harley Quinn goes full Harley Quinn and it's rated R. So it's like, she goes full Harley in this movie, so.
Take it as you will.
So yeah, because it's like the Suicide Squad fighting some people, and it's like a war zone type thing, you know, like they're in a war or something, you know. I don't really know. I'll have to wait until it comes out. And it's one of those movies that comes out later this year in theaters and on HBO Max the same day, like how Wonder Woman was. Tom and Jerry is like that right now. The new Tom and Jerry movie that I did not watch. Which, did you hear that? I saw this on Facebook the other day. It was when people would go to HBO Max and watch Tom and Jerry, it would start playing the first couple minutes of the Snyder Cut.
Really?
Accidentally. It wasn't supposed to do that. They said it just started doing it because the Snyder Cut comes out next week, but it's only on HBO Max. It doesn't go to theaters.
Yeah.
And they were like, oops. Warner Brothers was like, well, we didn't mean to do that. But they didn't, the people who were watching it didn't finish. It didn't let them finish the whole movie. Like, they only watched like the first 5 to 10 minutes is what they said.
So they still had the 4 hours left.
They still had 3 hours and 50 minutes left to watch. So they got to watch like the introduction and like where it says Justice League at the beginning of the movie, you know? Like, that was it. But going away from DC a little bit and Warner Brothers, we're going to go ahead and go into Disney Plus and all their stuff.
Good old Disney Plus.
So, Disney, call them what you want. Hate on them all you want. But, God, they make some good stuff.
They make some good stuff.
Like, and I'm talking about Marvel and Star Wars.
Like Phineas and Ferb. No, yeah, Marvel.
Like, and this, I am talking about the National Geographic section. Now,
exactly. Jeff Goldblum.
Look, you either have two choices. You got to watch Jeff Goldblum's show on Disney Plus, or you have to watch The History of Swear Words with Nicolas Cage on Netflix. I'm going with Nicolas Cage.
You can't not go with Nicolas Cage.
Over Jeff Goldblum, especially.
Yes.
So, anyway, with Disney Plus, the last time you were on was actually when Season 2 of The Mandalorian ended.
Yeah.
And the week after that, I actually gave my official review of Season 2. And if you stay tuned in for a little longer, we will give our official review of this past season of WandaVision. I'm pretty sure it's going to be only one season. I don't see it being any other season after what happened.
I mean, at this point, I don't want to try and predict anything Disney's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I have no clue where they're going, especially as WandaVision went, because they had all these theories when the first few episodes came out. I was wrong on every single one of them.
I was right probably on like one. like I was like, because like after every episode, you have to change your theory.
Yeah.
And prediction and all that. And it's like, okay, this happened, so this person's got to come. And then it's like then the next episode, you're like, okay, somebody else showed up. But this person's got to show up next time.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened every episode.
Yeah.
But we'll save that for a little bit later, in a couple minutes, of course. But first off, go ahead and say that to Star Wars a little bit, because there's more stuff to talk about with Marvel. But with Star Wars, first off, there's not much Star Wars stuff coming out this year because we've had 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, the last season of the Clone Wars to end that off.
Yeah.
And now, this year on May 4th, May the 4th be with you, Star Wars Day, is the premiere of Star Wars The Bad Batch.
Oh, nice.
Animated show.
See, currently, I'm not sure what The Bad Batch is.
Yes.
I'm not sure what it is, but it looks really intriguing, and I really hope I finish before May the 4th so I can see what's going to happen.
You got less than 2 months now to finish.
I
what season are you on?
I think season 6. Ahsoka just left the Jedi. That was the last thing I saw.
Was that the season that was the season before the last season, right? Was the last season season 7?
No, she
or was it season 6?
I still got a few seasons left. She just left the Jedi.
Yeah.
I know it's season 8. I think it's the last season.
Oh, really? God, I binge watched them all. Let's see here. Season 2008 is when it started. God, it's been that long. God, I feel old. Let's see.
When did The Office start? Is it older than The Office?
I'm going to Google that too. This is the Googling portion of the Toddcast. The Office started in 2005.
Okay.
And it ran for 9 seasons.
That's a good show. I recommend that one.
Yes, I do too. So, it had 7 seasons. 7 seasons and the 1 movie.
Okay. So I'm pretty close then.
Yes.
I thought I still had a whole 2 seasons to watch, but
Season 6, which was called The Lost Missions, was the subtitles. It has 13 episodes, and it actually premiered on Netflix. That was the only season that premiered on Netflix. Because all the others before that was on Cartoon Network, you know. Because that was the original home.
Actually, Ahsoka wasn't the last thing I saw. I remember now. The last thing I saw was there was a clone that had a defective chip in his head for the Order 66 thing.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And they were gonna try and find out what was wrong with him.
Yeah.
But Count Dooku kind of knows.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really good. Like, cause like that last season there on season 6, I forgot that. You know, I never saw it. You know, because I remember the Cartoon Network versions and all that. But yeah, that's really good. And you got 1 more season. And the last season has 12 episodes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But anyways, Bad Batch. You can talk about it if you want to.
Well, there's not really any spoilers that I can give. It's just they show up in the last season.
Okay.
It's just a group. And
they're clones, right?
yeah, well, yeah.
Mandalorians.
They're different clones.
Okay.
Like
Are they like defective?
they're called the Bad Batch because they have specialties. Like, you know, all clones are kind of made the same.
Yeah.
These guys have attitudes.
Oh.
Like, they're different. Like, they're more real.
Huh. Do they have the chip in their head?
I don't know. And that'll be proven in the first season of the Bad Batch, because in the trailer, you know, it was like, because it follows their story and probably how they came to be in the show that premieres on May 4th. And I don't know if it'll do weekly, like how Mandalorian and all these others are, or if it'll do like Netflix and here's the whole season on one day. I think they're going to do weekly because at that time, this new season, of course, of Falcon and Winter Soldier will already be either done or about to finish, and Loki starts June 11th.
Man, there's a lot going on.
But May the 4th is a Tuesday, so what they're going to start doing now, I think, is have Marvel on Friday and Star Wars is on Tuesday.
That's cool. I like that.
So it's like it's enough days in between. So it's like you can watch it Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, and then you got Friday, and then of course Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah.
So it's like you got your
spaced out perfectly.
Yeah. And then there's so many shows that I'm so ready to come back.
Yes.
They're currently filming season 3 of The Boys for Amazon Prime, which is a great show, of course. And there's just so many shows that I'm just ready. You know, it's like, because it always feels like all the shows that I watch are available, come on at the same time, and then film and are made at the same time. So it's like you watch them all, and then there's a big nothing period.
Personally, the one that I'm really excited for, that a lot of people don't seem to be nearly as excited as me, is the What If series.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready for it.
Really, really
They haven't announced a day yet.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to come on after Loki. Because it says late summer 2021.
Yeah.
So that was all of Star Wars, The Bad Batch. And then the next season of Mandalorian comes out at the end of this year. No, it doesn't. The Book of Boba Fett comes out at the end of this year.
Oh.
So once Marvel stuff ends, Book of Boba Fett, and then season 3 of The Mandalorian, I think, is actually going to start after that in like the first couple months of 2022.
Yeah.
So with Marvel now, on the Disney Plus side of Marvel, WandaVision just ended. We'll give our review here in a minute of that, but we'll go ahead and talk about some other stuff that's coming up. Next week, next Friday, Falcon and Winter Soldier premiere. Are you ready for it?
I'm excited.
I think it's going to be 8 episodes.
Okay.
Just like WandaVision, basically, but not totally different show, of course.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely nothing like WandaVision.
Oh, yeah. It's still going to be amazing because it's going to be like more of a buddy Marvel, not war movie, but like crime type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's that kind of thing.
It's going to be like the Captain America movies.
Yeah.
Like Winter Soldier and Civil War. It's going to be more of the action type
and
stuff.
it's, of course, the Falcon and Winter Soldier being buddies, as you can tell from the trailer.
Yeah. And also, what I'm really excited for is they filmed portions of it in Louisiana. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
That's partially because actor for Sam Wilson, what's his name? Anthony Mackie.
Yes.
He's from New Orleans.
Oh.
Did you know that?
No.
He's a big Saints fan.
Okay.
And I like that. You know, I'm a football guy.
Yeah, and one of the top Marvel guys is from New Orleans and a Saints fan.
Yeah. So he specifically requested that at least part of it was filmed in Louisiana. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and that also kind of works with him, too, because, you know, like our COVID guidelines in our state are a little bit more loose compared to, like, L.A., New York, and even, like, maybe even Atlanta, you know? Like, Georgia might be a little loose with their state, but it's like Atlanta's, like, a massive city, you know? It's like you got to watch out for that kind of stuff. And that's where a lot of stuff is filmed, is out in the outskirts of Atlanta, like, because, like, Walking Dead was always recorded there.
Yeah.
And the last two Spider-Man movies, there were portions filmed there.
All of Marvel stuff is filmed close to Atlanta.
So it's like Atlanta's always the filming location, you know. But yeah. That'll be pretty cool.
And what that means is also the other character that's already in Marvel from Louisiana, the Rambeau family. Monica Rambeau.
Oh, really?
Yes. That's where I don't know.
Oh, that's where the Captain Marvel spot was filmed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Well, that makes sense now. I remember that scene.
I think they're gonna start connecting some stuff.
Yeah. They should. It'd be something if Sword headquarters. Did they say where that was at?
I haven't.
This isn't really much of a spoiler, but I don't remember like whenever they in WandaVision.
I don't think they ever said
Sword headquarters. Well, they probably said undisclosed location, probably, since it was one of those
I think
high security
things.
things.
They had something close to New Jersey.
Yeah.
Or maybe in New Jersey. It's a whole state.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure, because I know
S.H.I.E.L.D.
The old Avengers headquarters was in upstate New York.
Because Stark Tower was in New York City, too. Yeah. And then Avengers facility, or not Avengers, S.H.I.E.L.D. facility in Winter Soldier, was that in D.C.?
That was in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, okay. So, just basically that general area up there.
And if, the big thing, though, if they have S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters in Louisiana, I don't know how they're going to bury anything. Like, if they want to put a spaceship in the ground, it's going to be full of water.
I mean, you're right. It's going to have to be like if they try to make another like helicarrier, it's going to have to be like a submarine as well. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's the only way they can work. But like Sword kind of looked like it was out in the middle of nowhere, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got to be close because of where that town was. You know, it wasn't that far whenever you realize.
Because she got there in one day. That's not a spoiler for the last episode.
No, that was like the first episode.
Yeah.
Like it makes, because of that town of Westview was in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And then Sword's got to be around there too. They're just out in the woods is where they're at because they're in an undisclosed location.
Yeah.
But, Falcon and Winter Soldier, prepared for it. It's going to be good. Of course, what's his name? Baron Zemo is the bad guy.
Yeah.
He returns with actually a purple mask. Did you know why he wore that?
Why?
He wore it to intimidate the living members of the Avengers by intimidating them as Thanos because he was purple.
Oh.
That's why he wears a purple mask over his head, because he's like, he knows that, of course, Stark died.
Yeah.
And Cap is old. Mm-hmm. And that was all that happened, wasn't it? Did anybody else die in Endgame? I mean, Vision was killed.
I was about to say Vision.
But, like, was any, like, actual people?
Black Widow.
Oh, well, yeah. But Thanos didn't kill her. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a result of that. Well, I guess you could say.
I mean, it was a result of them stopping Thanos, you know. But, but yeah, that's why they said that's why Baron Zemo in the show says that he. Because everybody in the show always they just know. They're like, oh, yeah, Thanos, and the Avengers and all that. It's like, it's not secret at all, Because they fought in Endgame in that big crater that where the Avengers facility used to be.
Upstate New York.
Yeah. And, that's why Baron Zemo wears a purple mask to intimidate the Avengers because of even though they beat Thanos,
It still haunts him.
It's still...
It literally got Thor to a bad place.
And whenever Stark had those nightmares after Age of Ultron, because of Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
So, and so after that, that'll run for about 8 weeks, or 8 episodes, of course, which is 8 weeks. And then around that time, what it ends is when Bad Batch premieres on a Tuesday. And then it'll run, and then on June 11th is when Loki premieres.
I don't know how you keep all these dates in your head.
Oh, I remember more about this than a lot of stuff. Look, this is my thing. Because I remember seeing the picture.
Yeah.
So Loki, the show on Disney Plus, will premiere on June 11th, which is a Friday. And I'm excited for it.
I am too. And
it's going to be different.
I'm not going to do like I did with WandaVision and make all these crazy predictions because they could go any direction. Just like
they'll blow you out of the water in the first episode,
yeah.
Because it's Loki and a lot of weird
and
stuff
Owen
is going to
Wilson.
happen.
Don't forget Owen Wilson.
Oh yeah, Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson's there too. And so it'll run. I don't know how many episodes. I had it saved. Somewhere.
They're not sticking to 8 with all of them?
No. Well, they revealed how many episodes are going to be in the She-Hulk series as well.
Oh, I forgot about
They already showed for She-Hulk, Moon Knight, and Miss Marvel. They already talked about it. But I will say it was announced every week, starting with WandaVision, of course. Every week for the rest of the year, there will be something MCU related coming out every week.
Oh my goodness.
Which is considering like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3 of series. Like this week right now where there's no series was the episode of The Making of WandaVision, which is counted as an MCU content. Yeah. So those weeks in between is whenever they do the making of whatever show just went off the air.
That's cool.
And then, of course, the movies.
Yeah.
Black Widow, Shang-Chi, The Eternals, and Spider-Man No Way Home, which is coming out in December.
If that is the title. We don't know.
Well, we probably won't know. They probably, knowing Marvel, they won't reveal the title until the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be like the start of it, and then the whole thing will happen, and then Spider-Man, whatever home,
Yeah.
So...
I mean, you saw the little Instagram thing that Tom Holland did.
Oh, yeah.
And I was all for some phone home. I was ready for that.
I actually liked it.
Yeah. And then they just retconned that, and I was kind of upset about it.
I was hoping for... I don't even remember what the other one was, but it was funny. But Kevin Feige, the man himself, revealed some MCU shows, not all of them, but some of them will have a second season. Ooh. That will come out in the next couple of years. And, let's see here.
WandaVision isn't one of them.
Oh, God, no. I don't think so. Falcon and Winter Soldier could be, most likely, I think. Yeah. And then, I don't know about Loki, depending on if it ties into another show, into a movie or something. What If should...
Yeah.
What If could.
I think they should just keep that going as long as possible.
Where was it at? Oh, here it is. They revealed Falcon and Winter Soldier will only have 6 episodes. They will be 40 to 50 minutes long. Loki will have 6 episodes, same time length. Moon Knight will have 6 episodes, and She-Hulk will have 10. So, kind of short, but they're tying in everything,
Yeah.
He didn't confirm if WandaVision was getting a season 2. He didn't say yes or no. So we don't know.
I would just assume no, based off of what happened in the last episode.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
He said that only some, not all, will get a second season. She-Hulk will start production in a couple of weeks. So right around this time. This was posted in February. So right around this time.
I mean, not Daredevil. Was that Deadpool?
Deadpool at the bottom. They said Deadpool 3 is the only movie in the MCU that will be rated R as of right now. Nice. They will not. Disney has made the official decision. We're not going to mess with that. Deadpool 3 is going to be rated R, no matter what.
I applaud Disney for that
because Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
he's Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. He is Deadpool. They said they're not going to mess with it because of the tone and style, are open to discussing more. And then with that, depending on how it goes, Disney is open to discussing more adult-oriented films and movies. So after that, a lot of people want Blade to be rated R.
Ooh.
But Blade, they said PG-13 Blade isn't going to be good as a rated R Blade, you know.
Yeah. And what is that thing about Quicksilver I saw?
You'll have to wait and see.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You'll have to wait and see. With Age of Ultron's Quicksilver, that is. So, anyway, like it said, what else could I say? Loki, June 11th. Black Widow, the movie, of course, is coming out May 7th, as of right now. Shang-Chi is on July 9th. And then, so Loki is June 11th. Starts, and then it'll end when Shang-Chi starts the next week, I guess.
Yeah.
What If will be in the summer, right around that time, after Loki, I guess.
Yeah.
Eternals is November 5th. Miss Marvel and Hawkeye are still both supposed to be on this year.
Really?
Yes. And then Spider-Man No Way Home, December 17th.
Nice.
Boom. That's the whole rest of the year for Marvel.
I'm looking forward to all of it.
And then, of course, everything else like Doctor Strange, Thor Love and Thunder, Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Guardians of the Galaxy, Holiday Special, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Secret Invasion, Ironheart, Armor Wars, Fantastic Four, Blade, I Am Groot, and Deadpool 3.
Ironheart. I forgot about Ironheart.
Ironheart is going to be, and those, like I said, everything, a lot of these are to be announced. But Guardians 3 is the only one announced for 2023. Everything else above that is 2022. So it's like we got 4 movies and 3 shows confirmed for 2022. Which is Captain Marvel 2, Black Panther 2, Thor 4, and Doctor Strange 2 are all in next year. And then She-Hulk and Moon Knight will premiere next year as well.
Wow.
So... But then they're also going to have to start working in more Star Wars stuff because next year is supposed to be the Cassian Andor show, the Kenobi show, season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Oh my goodness.
And then
Disney. Chill.
The book of Boba Fett, you know. It's like, hey, Disney, if y'all are looking for any extra actors, like, I'm right here.
It seems like you guys are going to need some extra people on deck.
Especially if you keep killing off people. You know, you can't have the same actors play the different people, you know.
Yeah.
Like, that's why they're bringing in, like, the Eternals, completely new cast, you know. Like, we don't know them. You know, like, Shang-Chi, we don't know him, basically, this character. So, yeah, I'm very excited for that. And you are as well, probably.
I am very excited.
So, as of right now, I think we should go ahead and get into our WandaVision review of this past season. So, here in a minute, you will hear a sound like you did if you listened to the episode that had Season 2 review of The Mandalorian. In a minute, there's a sound that goes off, and that sound means we are about to start talking spoilers and everything of this past season of WandaVision. So if you haven't finished this season, or you haven't watched it at all, and you still plan on watching it, you should skip ahead about 15-20 minutes around that area. And there will be another sound at the end that will say, okay, no more spoilers of WandaVision. And then that'll be it. Talking about WandaVision. So this is your official spoiler warning. Spoiler warning right now. Go ahead. If you don't care, if you have seen all of WandaVision or you just don't care, you can keep listening. But for your own sake, stop right now and either go finish it or just skip all the way ahead until the next segment or whatever, you know. And this is your official warning. We're about to start talking about WandaVision right now. Now it is time for our official review of this past season of WandaVision. I can't believe Dr. Doom showed up.
I can't believe either. It's incredible. Like I said, I wasn't expecting it, and I'm just going to stop making predictions because you never know what's going to happen. I was more surprised that Howard the Duck came in and snapped his fingers with the Infinity.
Oh, like, for real, though. And then somehow Wanda was able to stop it, you know?
Yeah.
And then, like, Doctor Strange showed up and did his circle thing.
Yeah, the sling ring.
Yeah. So, none of that happened. Anyway, to be serious with a little bit more anyway, as serious as we can be anyway, with the official review. Honestly, I thought this is one of probably the best things Marvel has ever made.
You think so?
This is like top 10 type stuff for me. Even though, of course, it is a series, but it's movie quality.
That final... All right, so when it first started with the whole black and white deal, I didn't know about it. I thought maybe this wasn't going to be that good of a show. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people, maybe not as harshly as I said it, but a lot of people were a little bit skeptical. Is this going to be a good show? Mm-hmm. But they tied everything in so well. And especially on this last episode, it just, everything fell into place the way it should.
Yeah. So, like you just said, I felt the same way.
Yeah.
Because, and I think, honestly, the reason is because I don't think I'm that interested in those old type of shows.
Yeah, me neither.
Like 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Like, that was a golden age of, like, it was either the 60s or the 70s, whichever one that was. The Brady Bunch one.
Yeah.
Like, those originals, like the original of the 50s was supposed to be about the Dick Van Dyke Show, was what it was supposed to be like. I thought they were good, for the quality of them. Honestly, I'll be completely honest with you. Vision was my favorite character in the entire show. I loved Vision in this. Vision was funny. He was amazing. He was awesome. Paul Bettany is an amazing actor.
Yes, he is.
Like, he needs to, even though what happened at the end of the episode with the season, they need to have this man in every Marvel project ever for the rest of his time.
He needs to be the Morgan Freeman of Marvel.
He could be, honestly, because, like, he's got a good voice.
Yeah.
And he was Jarvis.
Yeah.
And now he's Vision.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, we're already talking about spoilers. He's now White Vision.
White Vision.
White Vision, which is in the comics.
Man, he looks so cool.
That I looked up. White Vision is comic book accurate.
I like how the, instead of the gem, it looks a lot like Stark's arc reactor. Just a little bitty
That's
version.
what somebody said on Instagram, is that Vision is a living arc reactor, is what he is. That he's just an arc reactor, but that's come to life.
Yeah.
And that's what it looked like up there, was like that mixed with like a computer chip type of deal, with all the like lines and everything.
And I'm all for it. I think it looks incredible.
If he just paints his skin purple again, like he normally has it, because God, I can't look at that for too long. Like, he is bright.
That's some exposure right there.
Like, that's my skin for being in the house from COVID for too long.
I mean, in like Civil War, he's wearing clothes and stuff. So
yeah.
He can obviously, change his appearance.
Because he can morph.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's able to, like, whenever they have in the final episode, whenever White Vision and Hex Vision, that's what we call them apparently, Hex Vision, whenever they fight, which their fight was a whole lot better than Wanda fighting that other girl, than Agatha. That was boring.
Yeah,
Like, it
really was.
That was the story, and Visions fighting each other was the action, you know? Like,
the way I see it is Wanda brought the whole mystical feel to the show.
Oh, yeah.
And Vision brought the real perspective of the show. Like,
and the
he
comedic.
kept everything grounded. And,
And so, like, I loved it. I didn't really get, like, I watched it just because it was Marvel. That was why, like you said, the first 2 episodes of the 50s and the 60s, I was like, okay,
I'm going to watch
this. Like, I watched it because it was Wanda and Vision, of course.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny, had its funny moments of, like, old school comedy.
Yeah.
And I watched it just to see where it would go. But it was either episode 3 or 4. I think it was 3. Was whenever they had the episode, it might have been 4. The one where they had the outside perspective of Monica Rambeau. That's when I got hooked.
Yeah, that's when I realized,
this is real.
Gonna be pretty good.
Yeah. And then Jimmy Woo. God bless Jimmy Woo.
Jimmy Woo was a national treasure.
Because I knew I recognized him, and I was like, is that the guy from Ant-Man? Like, of all movies, he's in Ant-Man?
What are you doing here?
And then now he's in Westview, New Jersey, of all places. Yeah. And they're like, we got a missing persons case. Actually, we got a missing towns case. And then I was like, oh, my God. And then that cop car drove into the town, and it was gone. I was like, And then she walked up and it was like this force field type thing that they called the Hex later on.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then she got sucked in, and then it was like, oh, she's her inside the town, you know, because you didn't see her in the first episode.
Yeah.
But you saw her in the second one, and then the third one, and then so on, you know. And she become one of the main characters without even being in the first episode, like without even being mentioned at all. And I loved the scene of her dusting back after the snap.
Oh man, that was.
And she was like, "Where's my mom?" And it was like, it was emotional, but amazing and very well done.
Because,
of course,
first off, before we saw that scene, the only recollection we have of people coming back was the guy with the tuba getting hit with the basketball.
that was the first thing I thought of. I thought of that whenever she was dusting back. I was like, oh, this is where the tuba guy gets hit. That's what I thought. Because like half the band came back in the middle of a basketball game.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I thought of was the last Spider-Man movie. And some people have thought about that too, and we'll talk about that more whenever we're finished talking about the last episode of how this and Spider-Man Far From Home did not fit together at all, other than that.
Oh, no.
Like nothing else happened. And Spider-Man Far From Home happened after this.
Yes.
And which is weird.
Yeah, it's weird to think about.
But they made Spider-Man Far From Home before this, and I don't know how much of this they had written out at that time. You know what I'm saying? So, overall, I thought it was really good. Gosh, dang it! I really wish freaking Evan Peters, who played X-Men Quicksilver, was freaking Ralph Boner.
Ralph Boner.
They said, I thought that was funny, but then I was like, this is bullcrap, man.
Why did he agree to do that?
I don't know why, because it was a trick and plain trick on us, the viewers. And they said, and they talked about this, I saw this on social media, I think it was on Instagram, and they said, they bring back the X-Men Quicksilver to play Quicksilver in an MCU show, hoping that we would get a multiverse crossover, all for a boner joke. That was all we got out of this. Like, that was the end game of that, you know? And then I have this picture. That's a picture of Netflix's Daredevil. And they said, when he appears in No Way Home as a beloved character, huge erection. I thought that was so funny because I was like, it's so true. I was like, he's going to show up and not even be Daredevil, you know? Like, but he definitely should, because all the Netflix characters are in the MCU, technically.
Yeah.
With like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that too. But I had a bunch of theories as well whenever I saw the trailer. The Beekeeper, I thought that was Agent Coulson.
Really?
Yes, I could see his face, and I thought that was Agent Coulson. Really? Because he's alive, you know, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
But they did say that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. technically isn't canon with the MCU. I'm not really sure how they're going to go about
the snap happened in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., though.
Really?
That was true, yeah, because they had people snap away, but then the show ended before all that Endgame happened, you know. So I don't know. Which it might be still going on, but I don't think it's not made because of COVID, because of course, but
what WandaVision really showed me is how good Marvel is at making grieving characters work. Like, you think about it. Like, you got Thor, you got Tony Stark when Peter vanished and stuff. Yeah. You got Captain America. That's a grieving person right there.
Oh, yeah.
And even with, the way they did Star-Lord when he saw Gamora again, like, you could really feel the emotion.
Which, you couldn't feel it that much, but with Hawkeye, after his family left.
Oh, yeah.
But he just started killing people, you know.
Hopefully I never relate to that, but still, I understand
where he's coming from.
They're really good at showing pain, and even in the even in the villains, like with Zemo and with Black Panther, Killmonger.
Yeah,
they're really good.
Like,
at doing that.
I won't give him credit, but Thanos, he really cared about Gamora.
Yeah.
Even though he was a tyrant and a
psychopath,
and literally he was, but he cried. Yeah. Whenever he chunked Gamora off the cliff. Yeah. Because he said, it's my destiny. You know, he didn't want to do it, but he had to. Yeah. That was his feeling, you know. Like, they show emotion even in the biggest villains of the show, you know? Because they're like, even though he's a Titan, he still has human emotions, you know?
I think that's really what separates the Marvel movies from the DC movies. Is just the raw emotion.
The emotion, yes, because Batman is emotionless. Ben Affleck, you're a good guy.
What's your superpower? I'm rich.
It's like, well, there's your emotion, Marvel. Like, there you go. Top that.
But yeah.
So, yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was one of my... Of course, it was better than Thor: The Dark World. But it's so weird to relate it to the movies because it's a show.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing I have it to relate. Because there's no other MCU shows.
And even if it was a movie, it'd still be so different from anything else they've done.
Like, the closest I can relate it to is, of course, Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't that weird, but it was still weird in its own way, you know. And like I said with the last episode, the Visions battled. God, that was amazing. And then and they're making memes of White Vision right now of him saying, I need you to elaborate. Whenever he said that in the library, you know, when they were floating and talking to each other, and Hex Vision was like, he was real, the realer Vision, even though he was fake.
Yeah.
And then White Vision was the original Vision, but he was brainwashed by a sword.
Yeah.
And I really wish they should have showed him in a mid or post-credit scene. That was the only thing I think the last episode missed, in my opinion, was that he shot out of the ceiling, and that was the last we saw him.
Yeah, he just disappeared.
He left. I was like, how did he leave? Did he leave the Hex? I was like, he could be dead for all we know. I was like, he could have disintegrated. How did he get in here, you know?
Yeah.
And then Wanda, I was like, man, she's missing whenever she was throwing them things at Agatha.
Oh,
and she was like, suck in all the power. And then Wanda was missing. I was like, man, Wanda, you suck. You can't throw for nothing. And then she was doing the runes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's what she's doing. Because I could see him in the background. I was like, oh. And then Agatha was like, oh.
And that made me think of, you remember when they did like the recap, when they said previously on WandaVision, they mentioned the whole Hex thing.
Yeah.
Like, you can't cast spells in somebody else's.
Whenever she had the basement.
And when they said that, I was like, why did they mention that again? What's the reason? And then they really tied that in really well.
And she did it there where she could only cast spells and Agatha couldn't, and Wanda was the only one in the entire town. And I was like, holy crap.
She
I was
just
like,
brought it up another level.
I know. And then, because there was these giant runes in the background, I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. And then they went down, and then she was like, and then Agatha was like, you're going to take me to prison, aren't you? And lock me up. And Wanda said, no, you're already here. And I was like, she's going to make her the neighbor again. And then she did. She's, howdy, neighbor. Like, her character as the nosy neighbor.
Yeah.
That's what she was. And she was very good at it.
Okay.
I thought the actress who played her was very well. So
what happened to her? Because the Hex is down now. It's not there anymore.
I think Wanda did it anyway.
What do you mean?
As
like,
in,
what happened to Agatha?
I don't know.
I'm not really sure.
Because she said you'll be locked here forever, and then right after that, whenever she was like, you've become the Scarlet Witch, you know, and I was like, because she said that in the last episode, I was like, oh, she said the thing. I was like Leo DiCaprio in that movie, you know. I was like, there it is, and then the whistling, you know. I was like, there it is. And then I don't know, because I think Wanda is powerful enough to not have the Hex, but have Agatha locked in that town for the rest of eternity. Yeah. And then she was like, you need me. And Wanda said the great line of like,
I know where to
find you. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I was marking out. Yes. My mark out moment, of course, in the first couple episodes was when they were in the 70s and freaking Voodoo Child played at the end. Yeah. I was like, yeah! Because I was like, I love that song by Jimi Hendrix, you know. But then it fits so well. Yeah. Like, the lyrics fit with the show, which is weird, you know. And which is just an amazing song because Jimi Hendrix is amazing anyway. But overall, I thought it was very good. Of course, our theories were debunked. I thought Doctor Strange was going to show up in the end.
And the whole Mephisto thing that everybody thought.
And then I thought Mephisto was that bunny.
Yeah.
After a while, I
But
thought,
nope, that's Mr. Boner.
But freaking bullcrap, man. Like,
Yeah.
all for Ralph Boner.
Yeah.
That's stupid. Like, that was the most depressing thing in Marvel history, other than Thor: The Dark World, is freaking Ralph Boner. Like, he's on that level, you know. But anyway, do you have? Did you watch probably the end credit scene as well?
Oh yeah.
Where she's in that cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Freaky
that makes you
stuff.
think right there.
But the mid-credit scene was Monica Rambeau walking into the theater, and the policewoman actually turned out to be a Skrull. She pointed up, said, somebody wants to see you. It's either Captain Marvel or Nick Fury in the space station.
Yeah.
That's who it's got to be, because, you know, Nick Fury's working along with the Skrulls right now.
Yeah. Still can't find his sandals.
And, yeah. And then Captain Marvel, of course, reports to him and him alone, of course.
Yeah.
And then the end credit scene with her reading through the Dark Magic book, which is the book which, if you've looked on social media during this entire adventure on WandaVision, they went back and somebody watched Doctor Strange. There's a book missing on the wall.
Oh, I've seen that.
And the book missing is this book. This is the only book that is missing out of Doctor Strange's library, is the Dark Magic book. So, with all that being said, do you have anything you would like to, prediction, theory, or just anything you'd like to say after watching this entire season of WandaVision?
I'm kind of nervous too, because I'm tired of being debunked every single episode.
Yeah.
But obviously they're setting up Multiverse of Madness, because I know Elizabeth Olsen's cast in that movie, unless they change that just to mess with everybody's head again.
No,
I don't think so they will, but there's so many directions, especially with, as Doctor Strange is, there's just so much incredible stuff they can do. Also, Doctor Strange is cast in the new Spider-Man movie.
I think did you see this picture?
Mm-mm.
They released a still from the movie. Peter Parker, what's Zendaya's character? What's her name?
MJ.
Is it MJ? Okay, and then
Ned.
Yeah, Ned. That's his name. It was them three in like the basement of a room, but it had a lot of books around it, and they said they're in the basement of the Sanctum Sanatorium.
Oh.
And they said that's why a lot of people are thinking that what the overall theory, I think, is that Wanda somehow reads the Dark Magic book, becomes bad.
Yeah.
That's what WandaVision sets up the next Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man No Way Home. So it's like Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and Eternals, 3 movies, they just, like, Black Widow tells her story, ends it.
Yeah.
And then it's done. Shang-Chi introduces a new character, okay, good. Eternals introduces a bunch of new characters from way back in the past, okay, good. And then that's it. Spider-Man, and they'll all tie in, of course, but Spider-Man continues the story from WandaVision, and then Falcon and Winter Soldier will happen. Loki, he's a different Loki from Endgame's alternate reality, of course, with the Tesseract. That's that Loki.
Yeah.
Because he's messing up the time periods. And so what I think, in my theory, is that Wanda either is going to turn bad and something's going to happen, and they said that she, at full power, is stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme himself, which is Doctor Strange.
They said that in the show.
Yeah, they proved that, and it is now canon that is true.
Yeah.
And so I think she's going to start doing something. It's going to affect either the world or New York or wherever, because they're in New York, of course.
Yeah.
I think the Fantastic Four might be introduced at some point. I think the more X-Men members need to be introduced. Her Scarlet Witch outfit at the last episode reminded me so much of Magneto.
Oh,
A lot of Magneto, because of that red and black, or that, like,
and
the black and the helmet. Like, it's like, it, of course, it's got shades of old school Scarlet Witch comic book attire.
Yeah.
But it's MCU new version of it.
Yeah.
I think something's going to happen there. I think it's going to end up being like Scarlet Witch and her team against Doctor Strange and the Spider-Men.
Yeah.
You know, because there's all those theories, you know. There's going to be like different Spider-Men, Doctor Strange against Wanda and like the Sinister Six or something, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I think personally. And then that'll introduce either the X-Men or the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
They said Kevin Feige has confirmed that if I don't think he confirmed it. Somebody said that whenever the X-Men come to the MCU, they won't be called the X-Men movie. The movie's going to be called The Mutants, because that's what they are, mutants.
Yeah.
So the movie will be called The Mutants, and that'll be it, So yeah, I thought it was really good.
Me too.
And so is there anything else about WandaVision really that sticks out other than what we already said?
I think we covered it all.
I think we did too. So now we're going to get back into the regular scheduled episode.
John, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure being here with you. It's always a pleasure. Maybe you'll have me again next time. But now I gotta go see Jimmy's mom again.
Thank you, Carl, for being here.
You're welcome.
Mr. Carl Weezer, everybody. But, yeah. So, like Carl said, good night, Carl. But
Good
yeah.
night.
So, like we said, MCU, very well done, of course. And
as always,
like we said, WandaVision, of course, spoilers are out of the way now. And we're just very excited, I think, for everything that's coming. And real quick, go back to the Lego thing. Just one thing. Lego Star Wars, the complete trilogy, is coming out, I think, in May. Episodes 1 through 9.
I gotta get a PS5.
Well, you can play it, I think, on 4.
Oh, okay.
And, the OG, I call it the OG generation.
Yeah.
But, like, the past generation now, it's the past generation. It'll be episodes 1 through 9, and I think if you pay a little extra or pre-order it or pay for like the Ultimate Edition or something, you can get the Han Solo DLC movie and the Mandalorian.
Ooh.
And you can play as a Lego Mando.
Oh.
And I don't know if you can, but I think you might be able to play some episodes as a Lego Mando.
That's cool.
I think you should play the episode in season 2 where it was Mandalorian and the Tusken Raiders fighting that big worm thing.
Yes.
Like, that'd be the perfect episode.
Yes.
But they said you could start in every episode. I'm, of course, going to start episode 1 and play it all the way through.
Oh, yeah.
But they said you could start with 5 if you wanted to for just no reason or whatever,
Yeah.
Which, Empire Strikes Back, great movie. One of the best, But you can just start wherever you want. So, yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to say about Marvel, Disney, anything, games, movies, shows? There's a lot of shows we're waiting on. Rick and Morty.
I got a lot to catch up on. Any word on Rick and Morty? Anything said?
They're still making the show.
Okay.
They're still making it. It's still currently in production. They said they've been cleared for more episodes. Like, they were cleared for 100 episodes total.
Yeah.
That was before the last season. They said as of right now they're making season 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 is currently in production. It's getting close to be done. I think it'll be ready to go on air in August, September, maybe.
Cool.
And then they said they're good all the way. They got enough time. They're going to make season 6 and 7 already. Have been confirmed.
Nice.
So we got another 3 seasons total out of it, which is an amazing show, like we've said before many times. So next week, make sure you watch Snyder Cut of the Justice League on Thursday. And then the next day, make sure you watch the premiere of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is going to be more into it. Completely different than WandaVision, but all the same as in amazing show.
As far as we know, it's going to be completely different.
Hopefully it's completely different. My mind needs a break.
Just give me some action. That's all I need.
Marvel does take you some time to think, but this is more of they're in a club, fight scenes, and Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Falcon's flying around, and Winter Soldier's got that cool arm and everything. So really exciting stuff out of that. Really exciting stuff out of all this stuff. I'm still excited. I'm getting a PS5 in the mail sometime soon.
Just keep bragging about it.
Yeah. So So, Jaron, is there anything you'd like to say to end this episode?
Well, it's been great. Always a pleasure. Let's see. I'm obviously really excited. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, Jaron, once again, thank you for being here. Always a pleasure, of course. Of course, we'll see you back in 10 weeks on episode 72.
Yeah.
Which, if my calculations are correct, that episode will be coming out May 22nd, which means we could talk about Black Widow.
Ooh.
And, of course, Falcon and Winter Soldier will be over, and The Bad Batch will have already premiered.
Oh.
So we'll have a lot more to talk about at that time.
I'm just sad I'm skipping over episode 69. I'm going to mourn. So sad.
Oh, I'm not. I'm going to have a good time. So, yeah. So, Jaron, once again, thank you for being here. And hopefully all of you enjoy this episode as well. And, Jaron, just a lot of stuff is coming out, and we're all excited for it.
I'm excited too.
And as you can tell, Carl is too, as well. So.
I stay excited.
So, thank you, Jaron and Carl, for being here. As always, please rate and subscribe. And if you're listening on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. And click that bell to get notified when new videos are uploaded. And make sure you follow the Toddcast only on Instagram at @_Toddcast_ for all your Toddcast social media needs. Make sure you tell your friends and your family, or anybody really, to give it a listen. And thank all of you for listening to this episode. And if you want to know what's going to happen next week, well, I guess you're just going to have to tune in to find out. Only on the Toddcast.